We do have approximately 4,500 FTEs, both ComEd crews and contractor FTEs, working in the territory right now. We also received mutual assistance aid from our Exelon sister opcos out east. 150 FTEs came over to help us, and also 32 FTEs, about 12 crews from our Ameren partners downstate. In addition, we have 5 specialized feeder repair teams in these hardest hit areas, dedicating dispatching to 130 of those ComEd and contractor crews, really putting a focus on some of the devastation that you've seen around the Homewood, Flossmoor, Lansing, Chicago Heights areas. This is our 20th major weather event this year for ComEd, which is unprecedented in the last 2 decades. We have seen 52 confirmed tornadoes in the territory, and as you're well aware, Illinois is currently leading the nation with confirmed tornadoes. Our continued investment in grid modernization and smart grid equipment has paid dividends, helping to avoid millions of potential outages to our customers, and our engineering teams are continuing to analyze this data and work towards future investments to provide the most value and reliability to our customers. As always, safety remains our top priority. We do anticipate having 99% of our customers restored by 11 p.m. on Saturday. There will be pockets that go into Sunday, as previously communicated. We are closely monitoring this weather. It may delay us slightly, but we will stay in constant communication on any ETR updates. With that, I will turn it over if there's any questions.
So that 1% that you said might be the last pocket, what makes those jobs more difficult than the others?
Really, it's just the devastation. In those pockets, we are having to rebuild the grid. It's not a repair at that point. It's new poles, new lines, clearing vegetation, getting access to the areas, which mostly has been performed at this point, but we still have areas where access, and the rain. So working in wet conditions, swampy conditions also takes a little more time and effort.
And then where we're sitting now at the high school is power restored at the high school, other schools in the area. Was that a priority?
That is a priority. So we prioritize critical customers first and foremost. This storm was a little bit nuanced in the sense that we saw a lot of damage to our transmission facilities. So the transmission system is the backbone of our grid. We use that to transport large amounts of energy, large distances efficiently, and then we're able to then locally distribute it out through our substation network. We had a lot of damage there. To date, we've repaired 8 of the 9 issues we saw, so we were able to get that done initially to get a lot of power restored and then be able to work closer to the neighborhoods that were impacted.
What can you tell us about the operation going on Kedzie Avenue right here?
Sure. So obviously there was a lot of devastation here. We had to remove a lot of vegetation, not just for our work, but also to gain access to the high school. Pole rebuilds, conductor remounting, so pretty much from the ground up. So some of those things that I mentioned earlier are happening right here behind us.
How have you adjusted, or if you could talk more to any additional manpower that crews that were maybe working 24 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday are now able to take a beat for themselves?
Sure. Yeah. So we are on a 16 hours on, 8 hours off rotation. We were able to stagger our resources, so we are able to continue 24/7 operation, but give people a little bit of rest. The 4,500 additional contractors and mutual assistance employees obviously have helped a lot, but it's really just maintaining that rotation, making sure that we're constantly talking and monitoring about fatigue, giving people the space and time to rest, but then also prioritize getting power back to our customers.
How does this one compare to the others that you've seen this year?
This year has been quite the storm season. Like I said, 20th weather event. One of the things that sticks out for me is just the pockets of devastation. Storms are not new to the area, but just the amount of devastation to the communities, our equipment, the facilities of the communities in general has been a lot, and so working through that. Very similar. The customers impacted are also on a similar scale. So we've brought in as much aid as possible because, again, we want to safely and efficiently get that power back as soon as we can.
Is there anything that has not happened or is not happening that would help tremendously with the efforts?
Yeah, if the weather would cooperate for a few days, that would be fantastic. But again, this is what we do. The team knows the mission, get our customers restored, and we'll work through whatever we need to make that happen.
You mentioned grid resilience efforts in recent years. I was wondering if any of those projects have taken place in the south suburbs, or are we in a future phase?
No, they've actually taken place all across the ComEd territory. Our engineering teams are constantly reviewing data, customer impact, value of the investment, where it can provide the most customer value. So it's not one area, it's really all over the territory, looking again at where it can provide the most value. And ultimately, we want to be able for the grid to reroute power on its own without any manual intervention.
Where can people go to get updates on what's happening?
Sure, you can access our multiple online platforms. Call us at 1-800-EDISON-1 for any updates. Obviously, stay away from any down power lines. If you have any questions regarding, if you've taken damage to your property or your service, reach out to us when those repairs are made. We will have teams on the street 24/7 until the last customer is restored, and we will have enhanced staffing even after that, repairing pockets of the grid that may not be out of power, but need attention, and also restoring customers after their repairs are complete.
A lot of people are wondering about burying the lines. Is that an option that's on the radar at all?
That is an option. There's a lot of factors that go into that decision, but it is something that we do consider working with municipal leaders and regulators pretty frequently. Anything else? All right. Well, again, thanks for staying out here with me in the rain, and appreciate your time.